Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ben, or now known as the Old School Monk, and I really am happy to be back on RuneScape talking to you guys. And let me just say, first things first, I am totally gobsmacked about the response on the first video. I wasn't expecting anyone to see it, let alone the amount of comments and subscriptions that came off the back of it. Very encouraging, so thanks for subscribing and leaving a comment. And I figured today maybe we could just do a very chilled activity, which is making wines in game, and maybe we could address some of them comments. So yeah, get comfy and we'll go for it. By the way, I seem to remember there's some kind of monks in medieval times. Catholic monks make different alcohol products, so I guess in the mood of role playing we're doing a very monkish activity of making wine. Like, you might ask, what's the point of making wines? I'm already 99 cooking. I'm past 99 cooking. What is the point of me doing this? And maybe in response to that question, I could ask you, what's the point of doing anything in RuneScape at the end of the day? And it could even expand it beyond that, like, what's the point of doing anything in life, full stop? It's a bit of a come in with the big points, but really why we do what we do is an important question to bring up at all times. Like, what is my motivation behind doing what it is that I'm doing right now? And it would be a good question, why am I making wines on RuneScape? A pixelated video game from 2007 or whatever. Like, why would I be doing that? Gotta ask myself that, to be honest. Like, what is the point of this? I guess for me is there's some kind of relaxing element to just sort of doing a menial task that doesn't require too much attention. And there's also the satisfaction of watching the numbers go up, you know, because I guess sometimes in life we want to see sort of results for our activities, and in real life sometimes we're not getting results out of what we're doing, you know what I mean? There's not always like an immediate this action creates this reaction. At least it's not perceivable to us immediately, so therefore it's kind of less kind of satisfying. Whereas with RuneScape, it's like you do your activities and you get your results. You know, you put in the time, you put in the grind, and the results are very clear and very immediate. So I think that's something that's very attractive about RuneScape as a game. For a lot of us, is maybe in real life the results aren't coming, but at least we can get results out of our game. You know what I mean? Which is it's kind of interesting. It's like it's quite a passionate mindset. Because I guess I didn't even, if you're just like stumbling across this video, you're like, what is he talking about? Who is this guy? What's his qualifications for speaking on anything? But basically, in the last video, I explained like I was a Hare Krishna monk for the past 5 or 6 years, and prior to being a Hare Krishna monk, I used to play RuneScape quite a lot. And then when I moved out of the temple, I picked it up again. And we learned philosophy from ancient Sanskrit yoga texts that come from India. And the main book that we study is called the Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield. Arjuna's a warrior and Krishna is God. The warrior is bewildered and no longer wants to fight, but Krishna gives him kind of a pep talk, but beyond the pep talk, he gives him like a philosophical explanation as to why to do anything in life, you know. But the reason I bring the Bhagavad Gita up is we're talking about this passionate way of dealing with things. Okay, if I do this action, then I'm going to get this reaction. This is described in chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita, which describes the topic of, they're called the modes of material nature. So basically, everything that happens within this material universe can be categorized in 3 different categories. In Sanskrit it's tamas, rajas and sattva, but in English is ignorance, passion and goodness. So it's like another way to describe them is like ignorance is like destruction, passion is like creation, and goodness is like maintenance. Everything we do is kind of influenced by one of these 3 energies, and the energies have different symptoms. So say you're influenced by the mode of ignorance, you tend to feel like lazy and lethargic and angry and grumpy, and you know, you ever had that feeling where you just can't get out of bed and you can't convince yourself to do anything? Your room's a mess, you know what I mean? It's just, life is very difficult. Like, that's a symptom that, okay, I'm probably influenced here by the mode of ignorance, by tamas, the mode of darkness. And then sometimes we feel like we constantly want the next thing. Okay, I've got this now I want the next thing. You see it with like business people out in the big wide world. It's like I've got this Lamborghini, now I need a big house. Now I've got my house, I need a yacht. Now I need this, now I need that. This is like the mode of passion. It's like symptomized by intense endeavor. Like you're constantly trying to get the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. It's like a growth mentality. And then mode of goodness is peacefulness, calm. You're calm, you see everything as it is. You know, like have you ever been like out walking in nature and you just feel kind of calm and connected, and your mind isn't agitated by the things that you need to do, nor are you feeling that depressed. It's like a symptom that mode of goodness is on you, you know. So like, okay, these are interesting things to kind of identify. Okay, there's creation, maintenance and destruction. There's these 3 main energies within the universe, and I'm constantly being like influenced by one of these 3 energies. How does that relate to RuneScape, you might ask, right? So like basically how you do one thing is how you do everything. You heard this saying before? So like how you, for instance, I don't know, well, there's a good example. How you play RuneScape is how you live the rest of your life. So if you're constantly endeavoring for the next goal, and your main focus is on, okay, I've got to get my 99 skill, or I've got to get this item, or I've got to max my account, or I've got to do this next, do this next, do this next, do this next. Does this sound like something like that businessman mentality, like that intense endeavor for things? You know, this means that you're playing RuneScape in the mode of passion. It means you're constantly trying to create. And that's good because it will get your stats up. Same in life, like if you're constantly trying to endeavor for the next step, then you're gonna probably get rich. But the issue with it is it causes mental agitation, and also if your passion isn't tempered, or if it isn't kind of mixed with the mode of goodness, with the maintenance, with the more natural state, the peaceful state, then the problem with passion is it has the ability to kind of degrade into ignorance, which means like you kind of crash and burn, and you become lazy and lethargic, and you can't be bothered to do anything. So can anyone relate to that in terms of RuneScape? Like you get stuck on a grind, you're going really hard just trying to get this level to 99, and then eventually you get really fed up, and you just have to log out and quit the game, and you don't do anything. You know, this is mode of ignorance, this is lethargy. I can't be bothered to play anymore. I quit. And then you'll be back. Everyone comes back. But like, this is what the mode of nature that we're trying to kind of associate our life with is the mode of goodness. And mode of goodness is kind of peaceful, and you do things in a detached way. Like you're not necessarily endeavoring for any goal in life or in the game. You're kind of just doing your duty in a kind of equipoised fashion. You're not endeavoring intensely. So say with RuneScape, it's probably a healthy way to play. Okay, I've got this goal of achieving this certain level. How do I do that? You do the calculations. Okay, I need to play half an hour a day in this fashion, and I'll achieve the goal that I'm going for, you know. So like it's so it's a bit like that. That was scary. I almost didn't make the wine. So yeah, this is a more healthy way to play the game of RuneScape, but ultimately it's a more healthy way to play the game of life. is to try and cultivate the sattva guna, the mode of goodness. And then from the mode of goodness, then we can elevate, then we can start thinking about being spiritual, about kind of transcending our material condition, about kind of, becoming our highest self and walking our highest path in life. This is what mode of goodness, because a symptom of the mode of goodness is that all of the gates of the body are illuminated with knowledge, meaning that all of our senses are able to perceive reality in a clear way, rather than being kind of, because when you're in the mode of passion, you see everything through that lens, isn't it? Like okay, if you've got money on the mind, then all you see is money. If you want a Mercedes, then everywhere you look there are Mercedes. It's based on what's going on internally dictates the way that we perceive the externals. So if you're seeing things in a more mode of goodness way, then naturally you're going to be peaceful and happy, because you're more in tune with the reality of reality. And that's why certain habits, certain things, talk back to real life, certain things boost certain modes of nature. So say you take an intoxication a lot, you're kind of covering yourself in the mode of darkness, the mode of ignorance, because those types of substances are actually blocking your ability to perceive the data of reality. So you're kind of conditioning yourself to the mode of ignorance. Like there are cliches about, if you're smoking a lot of weed, you do get a bit more lazy, and your goals are harder to kind of achieve because you're in that more lethargic state. So this is an interesting subject matter because it applies to RuneScape and it applies to everything in life. So I think maybe one thing to meditate on or think about is how you do one thing is how you do everything. So how do you play RuneScape, and how does that connect to the way that you live your life? Because it's important to be a conscious being. It's important to introspect and ask yourself, why am I doing things? What is motivating me? Are we chasing prestige? Are we trying to impress others? Or are we doing things simply for the satisfaction of doing them? Just to be more peaceful. Anyway, I started this video saying that I was going to read the comments, and you just caught me going off on a ramble about playing, how we play the games. Well, here we go. The first question that I kind of highlighted is from ZYLIVIIJ. Lovely little picture there. He asked, is there a difference in the meditative value of AFK skilling methods that allow your mind to wander versus high intensity methods that require constant focus? So it's a nice question, and it kind of links to the point that we were just talking about. Like I guess because with RuneScape you can kind of play it in two ways, isn't it? You can play it in a way where you're really required to do hardly anything, and just sort of leave the keyboard. Like recently I've been getting the Castle Wars. You can see in my chat, you've won 76 games of Castle Wars. Like this, you can boost Castle Wars games and it's completely AFK. Like I just leave my computer for 20 minutes. Like click for 2 minutes and leave my computer for 20 minutes. Because I'm trying to get the gold decorative boots, which are like the best in slot melee boots for free to play. Don't ask me why, but I'm going for it. So super AFK. I can do anything like in life. Like I can go down to the shop for 20 minutes. So there's definitely a difference to this is it's not even playing really, so it means I can actually focus on things that are happening in real life. But even like more AFK methods which require you to at least be near the computer, that they don't require like too much focus. These are good if you want to like listen to stuff which is gonna kind of elevate your perspective a little bit, or help you to improve your life a little bit, or just to kind of relax and unwind, maybe like watching a little bit of comedy or something. But so yeah, that's one way to play the game. But then again, there's the way of high intensity methods which require constant focus. Like this is a way to kind of escape from the thoughts that are happening, a way to escape, or how can I say it, how to redivert your attention away from things that are happening in the real outside world, and your attention is kind of becomes absorbed and expanded into the game world. So yeah, there's definitely a difference. And when you are playing the game, like in the yoga terminology, they call it samadhi, which means complete absorption or complete trance. So when you do meditation, the highest state is called samadhi. So it's like you become completely absorbed in your meditation. So when we're doing these high intensity, focus driven kind of activities in the game, we're kind of in RuneScape samadhi. We're fully absorbed in the game, and nothing outside exists. So that might be helpful if your situation in the real world is causing you mental distress. So to escape into that kind of RuneScape samadhi is it could be a valid way of actually easing your mental position. But the issue comes is when for 12 hours a day you're in RuneScape samadhi and your character becomes you and your whole world becomes RuneScape. Like, it's obvious that that's maybe not a healthy situation for your progression in life, potentially. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So yeah, we need AFK methods so that we can actually live our lives. But there's also a value to high intensity methods in terms of because Krishna says himself in the Bhagavad Gita, if you're not balanced in your recreation, he says that you're eating, sleeping, and recreation, it's impossible to mitigate the pangs of material existence. So it's the way Krishna words it, but basically what he's saying is, if you haven't got recreational activities, then the mind will be too disturbing. The mind needs some kind of unwind. But it's about being balanced. It's about being regulated as well. Like we talked about the mode of goodness earlier. Mode of goodness is regulation. So ideally we'd be playing it at the same time every day. So you could say from 5 to 6, these are my RuneScape hours, and I log out at 6 o'clock. This is mode of goodness playing. Whereas me personally, I tend to get a bit passionate. So when 6 o'clock comes, I push it. Okay, we'll play another 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes, another 20 minutes. Oh no, it's 10 o'clock. So that's mode of passion. And then because you've pushed it so late, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 in the morning, if you push it that far, then mode of ignorance happens then. Because the next day you're upside down because you've ruined your sleeping pattern because you played too much escape. So these modes of nature that I described, they kind of affect the whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully that makes some sense. I got Zoidberg has sent a message in saying that you've got to wear the monk robes in game. Okay, we'll do that. I'll do that on my next inventory. Dun dun dun. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, I deposited the my previous armor. So if you're wondering exactly how making wines works, just as a little RuneScape aside, this timer up here, see it ticks down. When I make a fresh wine, it starts ticking down. 11, 10, 9. So basically, the wines go into your bank and they take 13 seconds to turn from grape juice into wine to kind of ferment. So it means that you can keep banking them, and you don't get the XP drop until your last wine is, until the timer's gone down. So in this way you can get you can get massive XP drops. So for this video we're going to see how high the XP drop goes just from me sitting here and rambling. And by the way, maybe if you're still listening, hopefully you're still listening, maybe you can say jug of wine in the comments, just so I know that you heard it this far, and let me know what what you're thinking about the stuff I'm saying, like if it's kind of helpful or if it's making absolutely no sense whatsoever. And maybe also give me a like and tell your friend, because I really like this kind of interaction that we've got going. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be wearing my monk robes. Boom boom. Uh-oh. 5. Oh no. I blew it. I could have done it, but I didn't. Okay, so we got 187,000 cooking XP. I feel pretty like I just messed up. This is why I'm not a PKer. I'm not a quick clicker. But I'm a monk now, at least. That's swag, you know, isn't it? Amazing. I just got this Castle Wars armor here. This is like quite a lot of hours worth of time. Let me sell that and buy this. I was thinking, this Castle Wars armor, the blue one, doesn't it look like a stormtrooper from Star Wars? Or maybe it's just me. Anyway, random, not important. Back to the winemaking. Okay, here's a cool comment from the Legacy of Gaming. He said max out your prayer, and it got like loads of likes as a comment. Like my prayer at the moment is level 61. Like obviously I'm in the free to play game, and the free to play is kind of limiting. It's like a limited way to play the game. So the fastest way to train prayer in the free to play game is using vile ashes and big bones, and you kind of have to like click them together, and you can get 40 XP drop. And this method, the fastest I've ever managed to get kind of XP rates per hour is something along the lines of 70k XP an hour, and it takes quite a lot of attention. I don't know if you just noticed it was hard for me to speak while I was doing that. Like my speech slowed down. Like I'll do it again and you can see that as I'm focusing on which bones to click, it actually takes a little bit of attention. Like we're talking about AFK versus attention. So if I was to train 99 prayer to max out my prayer in a free to play like this, like 70k an hour, what's that? 10 hours is 700k, 100 hours is 7 mil XP. So you double that for 14 mil XP and take off a little bit. So you're talking about like 90 hours of gameplay to get 99 prayer. No, 190 hours to get 99 prayer. And also it's 1.2 k for 40 XP. So what's that? Like 4 times 3 is 12. So what am I saying? 300. Yeah, it's 30 XP per GP roughly, which is a lot. So for 99, I'd need 390 mil GP, and it would take me 190 hours to get 99 prayer. And like, I'm not here trying to like be a crazy guy that's kind of doing that much clicking and playing that much RuneScape. Like I like RuneScape, but like I said, mode of goodness, I want to play it in a more healthy and regulated way. So here's a proposition, right, guys? Listen up. So I calculated how much it costs to get 99 prayer on a members server using dragon bones on a gilded altar. So you need 50,000 bones, which cost about 200 mil GP, which is quite a lot of money. But in terms of XP per hour, I think you can get somewhere in the region of 500k XP an hour. So I'm just doing the maths in my head off the top. But I've already got like 500, no, not even got 500k XP. So 13, 5, so you're talking about like 26 hours of prayer to get 99, as opposed to 190 hours of like constant clicking versus like kind of AFK prayer training. So my proposition is, I've got 16 mil, I'll take out these items. Like I can happily live without these items. These are just like cosmetic items. So I guess GP wise, I've got like 77 mil. I think I've got something else that's worth something. Yeah, this. So in these items, I got 84 mil GP, which I'd be happy to spend on prayer in a member server. So if you guys think that I should max out the prayer, then it sounds dodgy, but like I'll accept donations, and I'll do the 99 prayer on a member server, and I'll live stream the whole 99 prayer process on Twitch, and we can just kind of hang out and kind of talk spiritual subjects if you guys would be interested in that. So like my private chat's always on, so if you wanted to send me a message in game and just make a little donation towards the 200 mil, so far I've got 84 mil, so I need 115 mil, which is quite a lot, but even if there's 100 of you, give 1 mil each, something like that. Now I'm not like here begging for money. I'm quite happy not to get 99 prayer. I just keep playing the game, but it's just it could be some nice content, and we can do some live streaming as well, because I had another comment saying that we should live stream. So yeah, if you want to see 99 prayer, send me a message in game, or write your RuneScape username down below. My name is BenXI, and I'll take donations, and if we go over the 200 mil, then I'll just give it back to the community. So we'll do some kind of, maybe if at the 99 prayer we can like drop some cool items, or we could figure something out where we share the wealth. Okay, so that would be kind of fun to do. I don't mind breaking my free to play. I'm not like, I really respect like the hardcore free to players, and as soon as I get 99 prayer, I'll be back in the free to play game. Like my goals are all in free to play. I want to max combat free to play, but just for the sake of time, I hope you understand that. Like I'm not here like kind of, whoops, what happened? Yeah, I hope you guys understand, like I like free to play, but I guess I'm not really trying to prove nothing, if that makes sense. I'm just playing RuneScape the way it was made to be played, which is to have fun. I'm conscious of like time. So yeah, my recorder says I've been recording for like over 20 minutes, almost 30 minutes. So I'm a bit conscious that like I'm kind of taking up too much time. So let me know if like this style of video is too long for you, or if it could be longer. Like I just want to kind of talk. I just want to provide some content that people would like to see and kind of is most pleasing to most people, if you get me. So let me know if this content format is good enough for you. I've got a question from Pilo Potter, which says, did you have any self-realizations while you were in meditation? So like I haven't really explained the meditation process that we did as Hare Krishna monks in the temple, but one thing that we do every day, and I still do every day, is that we do 2 hours of meditation. Ideally before the sunrise, but in the summer that's not really possible. But we do something called mantra meditation. So manas is a word for mind in Sanskrit, and tra means to deliver. So mantra means to deliver the mind. So we do our mantra meditation, and the mantra that we specifically use is called the Maha mantra. Maha means great, and the Maha mantra, it goes Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is like the great man. There's a Bengali saint, the golden monk. His name is Chaitanya, and he is famous for saying, I could say this Sanskrit verse, it's actually cool, it's kind of like rap, and it says that the chanting of this Maha mantra, it cleanses the dust from the mirror of the mind. So like the way that we perceive reality is through our mind. The mind is like the interface that kind of takes the raw sense data and filters it, and then us, the conscious being, experiences life through the mind's perception of the raw data. Sounds cool, right? So our mind is what is tainting the way that we see reality. So the Hare Krishna Maha mantra, it cleans the dust off the mirror of the mind. In other words, it takes away the kind of material contamination from our perception, and allows us to perceive reality in its pure form. So we chant the Maha Mantra on beads every day, but then we also get together and sing the Maha Mantra together, and that's when the real, because he said, did you have any self-realizations when you're in meditation? And certainly, like, it's called kirtan, which is like chanting in a group. You can go to, if you're in a city, you'll probably be able to find a kirtan. It's kind of a famous type of meditation. If you're in a meditation scene, if you're in Cardiff, come on down. Every Friday, 6:30. But yeah, the mantra meditation is you can definitely have realizations through that experience. It's very potent, and I think one of the main experiences I get is like a kind of sense of connection to the source of creation, if you could say it like that. But basically it's like this overwhelming feeling of like, okay, yeah, I'm a tiny small being, almost like an ant in this universe, and I don't know what's going on, but I feel connected to something much more powerful than me, and that feels like feels right, you know, feels like my rightful position. So a bit like that. I wouldn't say it's self-realizations necessarily, but it's like glimpses into it, because really spiritual life is like a lifetime endeavor. So you get little glimpses and little glimpses and little glimpses, and those glimpses are enough to keep you going. So yeah, but yeah, I think we're gonna cut it off there. Please let me know if you watched till the end. That would be sweet. And if you did, then I'm really grateful to you. Like, number one, for listening, and number two, just for being a conscious human being in 2024 on the same planet as me. Like thanks for walking the earth, and also thanks for walking the world of Gillinor. I want to cut to like the RuneScape. Dun, 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 dun. No, that's Star Wars. Anyway, the RuneScape theme tune. But yeah, we'll leave it there, and I send you lots of love. Hare Krishna.